Hi, how are you? Justin Brennan here with the Brennan Pohle Group. We are very excited to present this 200-unit garden-style, solid B-class asset in northeast San Antonio up the I-35 corridor as you head towards Austin, Texas. Great property. I'm going to go through the pitch deck, kind of show you my behind the scenes and give you a little bit of story background to the property. So that way it's stuff you may not even get in the pitch deck when you're going through it on your own. So let's go. Okay, here we go. We got Sycamore Creek. It is a 200-unit garden-style Class B asset. And a little bit of the kind of the views, aerial views from it, viewing south, west, and then north. Location: crime is low, schools are good, jobs are good, median income is high, median home prices are good, and community is an affluent white-collar community, which is cool. You kind of see it all. You can kind of go through this in your own, but property executive summary will kind of give you the breakdown. It's kind of what we're doing, the plan for it, and all of that. It's going to go through the units, the vintage, some details on that end as well. The offering. So, $31 million purchase price, $10.5 to $11 million of equity, projected 18 to 20% annualized returns for the investors, 2 to 2.23 on the equity multiple, 7 to 10 on the cash on cash, about a $2.4 million capex budget, benefits broken down here in a 6% preferred return. Benefits to you: cash flow, profits, tax shelter, and inflation. Obviously, we're doing a cost seg on this to accelerate the depreciation on the asset to pass along to all of us really for the 2022 tax season. And it's going to be pretty heavy on this one. So the investment itself, $100,000 minimum. Okay. Breaks down your metrics and returns based on that. Okay. Capital stack and how that's going to work out: about $25 million worth of debt, $10.5 to $11 million worth of equity. How the ownership breaks down at 35% for the general partner, 65% for the limited partnership. We're bringing in 10% cash into the deal. So of the $10.5 to $11 million, we're bringing in 10% of that, of our own money, cash into the deal, and then the rest raised by the limited partnership. Timelines. April, escrow and due diligence starts. We're also starting the reservations and beginning the funding on it as well. And then planning to close May or June of this year, 2022. To give you an investment example, let's say you put in $100,000. What does that look like? Projections, but what does it look like? So it's going to break it down for you. You can go through it on your own in the pitch deck, giving you some basic metrics, right, for it as well. So take some time, go through that on your own. That's going to break it down. The property itself. So this is where the fun stuff comes in. It breaks down sources and uses for the property. Gives you some breakdown metrics of the property as well. Currently occupied, just under 97% occupied. That's awesome. DCR levels are good on it. Breaks down kind of current replacement costs if you were to actually rebuild this entire thing today. Exit valuations, etc., class of the building, and so forth. The building is in good condition. Exterior-wise, the ownership has done a great job. They've owned it for over just about 18 years, which is really rare for the single ownership to have it that long. Roofs are newer. Exterior siding's in good condition. The decking, the facade, everything is in really good condition. Exterior landscaping, drainage on the property, all of that is, I mean, they've taken a nice care of the property given its 1984 vintage age, but it's in good quality condition. Before we get into the interiors, let's talk about why Sycamore Creek. Because everybody, like, what's the story behind this property? Because that is the key. Location, location, location. You've heard that a million times with real estate, but it speaks truer than anything with this particular property. Right, given its location in that northeast corridor of San Antonio to Austin. Okay, it's about 48 minutes to Austin, about 28 minutes down to San Antonio downtown. Okay, why that's important, and you're going to read a story from CBRE on the next page in this pitch deck. It's going to explain what's happening in that industrial corridor and the explosive growth that's happening in there, and why this is so critical. Right, why it's so critical. So, being so close to the San Antonio International Airport, you got 28 minutes to downtown San Antonio and so forth. You got a lot of cars driving by the major parkway per day. And then also B Walmart. So we're going to be that BB class asset surrounded by the A's. Because there's another property potentially being built just on the other side of the junior high school. It's a Class A asset that's going to have high twos into the $3 a foot range on their rents. And there's other A-class buildings that we're going to be sitting just below. Anywhere from 10 to 20% below them once we're post-renovated. So we're going to be that B, solid B, B plus asset surrounded by the A's. B Walmart surrounded by Neiman Marcus, JCPenney, and Nordstrom. I've always said that because you're always full. Good markets, bad markets, you're going to be full. And that's why we do it. The renovation value add upside of 200 plus per unit with the things that we're planning to do with newer solid surface countertops, backsplashes, washer dryers, renovating the units, keeping the cabinets. I'll kind of show you this stuff as we go through it. You're going to get this article. Read the article. It's really cool from CBRE. It just came out here in March. Aerial views from the property itself. You're coming out, you're coming right down, you're 3.5 miles to the Randolph Air Force Base. That's a huge component, and you'll see why here in just a minute. Amazon Fulfillment Center. I've already drawn on it. Good. So that's about 5.5 miles away. So you come out right to the property, you come right down Schertz Parkway. The I-35 is right here, okay? Austin, Texas is up here by 48 minutes. San Antonio is down here by 28 minutes. Amazon Fulfillment Center sits right here just off the freeway. Great location. Classic interiors. So what's nice about them is they're in good, pristine condition. It's not like classic bad, it's classic pristine, which is rare, right? So the cabinets itself are actually pretty darn good. So we're going to come in here, paint those, add new poles, make them modernized, add in the microwaves here, new appliances, new countertops, backsplashes, right? New paint, scrape the ceilings, add some ceiling fans in, clean those up. So you're going to see that. So that way you'll see kind of on the pre and after, before and after, before and after, before and after. So walk through that on the pitch deck and you'll see kind of what we're anticipating. Same thing with the exteriors. Good condition, right? In general, it's really good condition. It just needs some love. New paint, kind of spicing it up, adding some areas, amenities and stuff into the pool areas, cleaning the common areas up, adding some fun stuff in there. So there's some things we can do to really spice up the community, make it exciting. So once again, before and after, before and after, before and after, giving you examples of what we're planning for the exterior. Unit mix. 56% two bedrooms, 44% ones. We love that. That's what we like to see, at least 50-50. In this case, it's more twos than the ones in studios, which is awesome. Kind of breaks down upgrades and then getting into current market rents and post-reno and how that kind of shakes up. And we'll show you the comps here in just a second. So location takeaways, exceptional accessibility. Within 10 minutes of the I-35, next to the YMCA, which is right here, the public library right here, you got the high school right here, okay? Great location, a lot of traffic. It's key. Amazon Fulfillment Center, you got the Randolph Air Force Base, and on and on and on. Highly educated. 39% of the residents 25 and older have a bachelor's degree. Okay, 68% of the workers are in white collar worker class. Affluent community, median home values are nearly $300,000. That's up over 11% since 2021. Household income is 83 grand. That is huge because that's over 30% higher than any of the other surrounding areas, including San Antonio. That's awesome. 41% earn more than $100,000 a year. Highly affluent, set up community, great location, and that's what you want. Jobs, rent, population growth, major employers, the Amazon fulfillment expanding at 7% population growth from 2021. 7%. If you can get 1%, that's great. 7%. You got the rents are up nearly 15% from Q4 2021. Effective rents at $1,244. 97% occupancy for the surrounding area of Schertz, Texas. Key takeaways. You can go through the floor plans on your own. Sorry, I'm going a little bit fast, but I want to make sure I get the key points here for you. And then you can take the time to go through this on your own on the pitch deck and get in touch with us, and we'll set up a phone call. So going through the market. Okay, here we go. Explosive growth, tech and defense. Why is this area so key? You got Austin 48 minutes away, you have San Antonio 28 minutes away, and then the property sits right here. Okay, so it's key along that I-35 corridor in a great location where anybody, we may be even offset for people working in Austin. Because it's getting so expensive there, you're seeing people move further and farther and farther out into the suburbs where we could be an alternative for them, people going into Austin or some of these areas down by, Tesla and some of these other things that are happening not too far away from this property. So San Antonio is just 28 minutes away as well. Go through all these market stats for the San Antonio and Schertz, Texas. Some of the economic drivers, main employers in the area. Amazon fulfillment, we discussed that. The Air Force Base. Now, there's 4 major bases within the San Antonio region, including the National Security Agency's central command within that kind of Midwest corridor is also in San Antonio. So key driver for it. Now this Air Force Base is 3.5 miles away. Why is that so important? 73,000 direct jobs from that Air Force Base and over 200,000 indirect jobs with all kind of the government contracts, supporting companies, supporting this, supporting that for the Air Force Base. Big driver. Market comps. You'll be able to go through these for the studios. Go through them for the one bedrooms, kind of, current, where we're going. Same thing here for the 2-bedroom, 1 bath. For the studios and 2-bedroom, 1 bath, there's not a lot of comps. There are some, but the best ones aren't. They're for the 2.2s and the 1.1s. Before and afters. 2.2s, same thing here. All the comps and competing properties before and after. So take some time to go through that and the financials as well. Kind of breaking down projections on these from current and then walking all the way through and then giving you some stats and breakdowns as well for all of the projected stats and operations for the property. Investor cash flow projections. This kind of shows for the limited partners, meaning yourself as an accredited investor in the limited partnership, what you can kind of expect for the overall, and then some breakdown of metrics and returns on that investment. So how to invest. We went through the timelines earlier of the escrow, due diligence, funding, and then expected closing here in May and June. You can invest pretty easily. You got 3 options. Obviously, you can access the portal. Click the links herein to get access to the portal. You can download all of this information, as well as the legal documents, etc. It's all in there. Set up your reservation, and then you can move that reservation into a full-blown investment here in a little bit of time. Up to you. Schedule a phone call with us. I'll be happy to jump on a phone call with you or anybody to kind of walk through all of this, answer any questions you have, and get into more detail as well. And then lastly, send us a quick email. So those are the easiest ways to kind of get started. And then if you're asking yourself whether you're an accredited investor, it explains it right here in the back part of the pitch deck. You can go through that. You can go to our website as well. It explains it. You can kind of walk through. Most people aren't sure, but most people actually qualify. You'd be surprised. The team. Key components. Who is the sponsorship? Who's going to be running the deals and operating these things? Obviously myself, Christopher Pohle, Kevin Bass on the analyst side, Rooney Medina. His experience is unreal with over a couple $100 million in deals, along with Richard Simis, bringing NextBase into it with us and then some other co-GPs. Great sponsorship team for you to be a part of with enormous background in construction, logistics, operations, financials, any of the debt, equity access, all of that, in doing a lot of deals and big deals historically. We got our accounting side, CPAs, bookkeepers, securities attorneys, business and legal attorneys, transaction attorney helping us through the PSA, local professional on-site management. That's third party, as well as our local construction crews to help with the renovation process as we go through it. Disclosures for you by law. And then lastly, you're going to have your own investor portal. So 24/7, you're going to be able to go in, check up on your investment anytime, get all the tax documents, legal documents, updates, everything. Just like you're logging into your bank, you're going to log into this and have full access 24/7 to the back end of your investment and your money. So want to make sure you're aware of that. Okay. Any other questions, please reach out to us. Want to be a resource for you. Excited to get you involved. We're excited about the property. We're getting going on it. And get in there, reserve a spot, get set up, give us a call, click an email. We'd love to hear from you. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.